Every business upgrades its technology. What most don't realize is that every old hard drive walking out the door can carry sensitive data with it. David Faverio built an entire company around that problem.
Pupfish is a data destruction company and an electronics recycler. So basically we'll go to companies, we'll pick up their old devices, bring them back to our facility, and we will destroy the data in a certified, secure manner, and then we will recycle the devices with a zero landfill policy.
But not all data destruction is equal. Most companies rely on physically shredding old hard drives. Faverio says that method has a serious flaw.
I like to talk about shredding as the 8-track of data destruction. You know, it was great years ago, but it's probably not the best way to do it now. You know, degaussing is much better, or even sanitization.
Degaussing uses a powerful electromagnetic field to permanently erase data with no recovery possible. Pupfish was the first company in New York State to earn certification for the process and is only one of 2 in the state certified today. The company is also AAA NAID certified, an international standard that includes unannounced facility audits, GPS-tracked pickup vehicles, and mandatory background checks on every employee who handles data. After more than 2 decades in corporate America, Faverio hit a crossroad that many professionals will recognize: a contract ending and a choice to make.
I grew up as a commercial lender and as a CFO, so I had nothing to do with technology other than managing IT people in my past. I was working for a company. I was at the end of my three-year contract. It was time for me to move on. So I had 2 choices. I could either retire or I could start my own company. I was kind of done working for people at that point.
He chose to launch, and chose an industry where the need, he says, is impossible to ignore.
If everybody does a little bit, it can make a big difference. Electronics comprise about 2% of our landfills, but they account for 70% of the toxins in and around the landfills. But we also only recycle about 15% of our electronics here in the United States. So there's a huge opportunity for improvement just by changing a few things in a little ways.
Faverio didn't go it alone. He brought in 2 former colleagues, Nancy and Jackie. His confidence in them wasn't based on friendship, it was based on evidence.
Nancy, Jackie, and I all worked together at a previous job, and I saw how they work. You know, they're just great workers, very detail-oriented, very accurate. You know, they follow a process through to the end.
That firsthand knowledge of how his partners perform under pressure became the foundation of Pupfish. It's also lesson 1 for anyone considering a similar move.
Your partners are going to make or break your business. You know, I'm fortunate that I trust these guys implicitly. You know, there's nothing I have to worry about. I never have to look over my shoulder.
For anyone thinking about taking on a business partner, Faverio has advice drawn from hard experience, both his own and his father's.
So if you're starting a business, I would recommend a couple of things. First of all, get a good lawyer and get a good document. I have been involved in businesses where the partners have done some really bad things. Having that document really helps define what's going to happen if there's a disagreement.
Today, Pupfish serves 14 school districts on Long Island, along with law firms, finance companies, and businesses across the region. Faverio says the company is a direct product of the people he chose to build it with, and the homework he did before he asked them.